All right, well, let's get this party started. I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Whately Board of Selectmen. Our first item of business is to review and vote on meeting minutes from the previous meetings. Are there any comments?
No comments or corrections.
Okay,
Second,
all right, it's moved and seconded. Let's go to a roll call vote. Julie,
yes.
Fred,
Yes.
Joyce? Yes. All right, any comments on the vendor and payroll warrants?
No.
Nope.
All right, great. I like the speed we're taking here. The public comment time, I'm looking in the room, I see at least one person who might be there for public comment. This would be for items that are not on the agenda. Is there anyone here with comments on things that are not on the agenda? All right. All right, I'm checking that one off too now. Okay, next is the public hearing. To consider whether to exercise the town's right of first refusal to purchase a portion of a property about 0.416 acres, currently assessed as agricultural land under Chapter 61A of the general laws, which is being proposed to be sold. Do we need to like officially open up a hearing?
Yes.
All right.
Right.
All right, I'm looking for here, is there verbiage here?
There's no verbiage.
There's no verbiage. Well, I will open the hearing now officially. Is there anyone who wants to speak to this particular item?
Do I need to see a map or anything?
I can give a quick. Yeah,
Yeah,
synopsis.
yeah, brief.
Brief. So 19 North Street is about 54 acres of land. The property owner is looking to sell about 0.416 acres of that property, which would then be merged with an adjacent residential property. Because the property is under 61A, which is agricultural, it is shifting its land use to residential, meaning it won't have that same production or that tax classification. And whenever that's happening, when land is leaving 61A, it gives the municipality the right of first refusal to step in to purchase the land if the town were to feel that it's more important to keep it under agricultural use. And so that's what's before you is for the board to determine whether or not there is a value / need to step in and purchase that portion or not, or to essentially waive your right of first refusal and allow that A&R and that sale and transfer to happen.
Yeah. Well, I've been thinking about it, Pete, and I do not think 0.416 acres is a large enough parcel to build a senior center on. So my one thing that I think we potentially could use for land would probably be completely inappropriate for this particular parcel. And I say that half jokingly, but you know.
Oh, and the Conservation Commission did review the request and they have no issue if the board was to waive its right.
Yeah.
I agree that it's a small enough piece of property that I have no issue with waiving our right of first refusal.
Yeah, I've no problem. It's not a piece of property that the town could use or has any particular use for.
Yeah. So would one of you phrase that as a motion, please?
I will phrase that as a motion. I move that the board approve. What?
Right.
Sorry, what's that?
Waive its right.
Thank you. I move that the board waive its right with regard to the portion of land at 19 North Street intended to be segmented off and added to 45 North Street.
Just as a point of order, we should close the public hearing first. Yes.
Oh, all right. I'll close the public hearing. There'll be no further discussion of this. Does that, all right. do we have to restate the motion?
I still move that the board waive its right of first refusal with regard to the portion of land at 19 North Street intended to be segmented off and added to 45 North Street.
Second.
All right, moved and seconded. I'll go to a roll call vote, and maybe today I'm just gonna always go to Julie first. Julie,
Yes,
Fred,
Yes.
Joyce, yes. All right, very good. Now I'm gotta find the agenda again on my screen here. All right,
Thank you.
thank you so much.
Thank you, Joy.
All right, so now we're up to old business and we have a fall special town meeting date to discuss. I had a question on the schedule that that you sent to us as to two possible schedules. One of them is like if we decide on a date today, assuming we do, then articles, we need recommendations on the articles. If we can get them by October 22nd, we can post it for October 29th and have the meeting November 12th. If we get recommendations in by October 29th, then we close and sign the warrants that day. It says the warrants posted November 12th and the meeting could be November 26th. And I was wondering why there was a 2-week delay between October 29th and November 12th, when there was only a 1-week delay on that first option.
Oh, it's based on what your meeting schedule is. So if you were, essentially, the only requirement is that the warrant must be posted at least 2 weeks before the meeting, the town meeting date. And
Uh-huh.
then, so if you were to,
Yeah, if we stuck with our regular meeting nights for it, I just feel like November 26th is a terrible, terrible.
yeah,
it is,
yeah.
so.
But I don't
we-
know that we'll have everything ready by the 29th.
So the reason is, otherwise you would then have to have a meeting on November 5th. So that you could then close. And then we can post it by November 12th to then have a meeting on the 26th of November.
Well, I thought the thing gets closed October 29th.
Oh, sorry.
If it's
I
closed on the 29th, can it not be posted and released? A 1 week later? Oh, you say we have to have a meeting to do the
There has to
posting.
be 2 weeks between the posting date and the special town meeting date when it's a special town meeting. It's 1 week if it's an annual town meeting, but for specials, you have to have 2 weeks in between your posting and your actual meeting.
Right. No, I agree. I agree with that, but I was talking about on your schedule here.
Yeah.
There's one date for the select board to close and sign the warrants, and then
Yep.
1 week later it's posted.
Yep. The reason
Right.
being, I was going to recommend if we go with the November 12th, that you hold your second select board meeting on October 22nd. That's the date that you would close it. And then the 29th is when we internally have to finish it with the lawyer, with town council and post it with the constable.
Okay.
You're not meeting on the 29th to post it. That's not an
Okay.
actual meeting date of the select board, it's a internal action.
Okay.
So my recommendation was, in order to do a November 12th special town meeting, which is essentially on one of your regularly scheduled meeting dates, like you like to do special town meetings on your dates. In order to do that, we would move the second October meeting to the 4th Wednesday, because there are 5 Wednesdays that month. That still gives us plenty of time to then post the next week and then still hold it. We have the benefit in October of 5 weeks, so it actually helps us to do to follow that first date option.
Well, then I guess I understand now why those other ones. I mean, if we were to meet November 5th and just the off weeks in November, the other scheduled work, how late in the game can you actually change the numbers on any warrants that have dollar amounts in them?
Until you close the warrant. When you close the warrant, you close the warrant. Otherwise, you can change on the floor, where you make an amendment on the town meeting floor to amend the article. And the town moderator have to accept the amendment, and then, well, the town meeting members have to accept the amendment, and then you vote
I
on the
see.
amendment. And then, or
Right.
inclusion, yeah,
Because one of the things that we're hoping to get on this warrant is, assuming we get positive results back on her from the architects, is a possible supplement for South County Senior Center. And I am not convinced we'll have all of our ducks in a row by the 22nd.
would you, given that. The other problem with November 26th is it is literally the day before Thanksgiving.
Right.
Uh,
But,
So
but
we-
I guess my point is the 19th and the 5th could be those two dates instead of November 12th and November 26th. Those two dates, we'd still be within the law if those um if those dates were moved back a week.
Say
Like
that
you don't have to be there to
she's saying is instead of November 26th, make it November 19th, and instead of November 12th, make it November
5th.
yeah,
But is
we-
that,
Those are
In
not
fact,
our
we-
meeting dates.
yeah, they're not measured. Well, the posting of the warrant is not a meeting date, so that doesn't really matter, but the 19th is not a regular meeting date.
Right.
It's outside the schedule.
So we often meet on not a regular meeting date.
yeah,
My recommendation, if you're not feeling comfortable about having things ready by October 22nd, we do the meeting in December.
hmm,
Yeah,
Rather than trying to force November meetings outside of a schedule.
Yes, but we also have the assessment meeting, usually first week of December,
The tax rate,
tax rate.
yeah. That's the first week of December, but then the second week, you're during your regular, oh, if we were to adjust. Well, we could still have a special town meeting after the assessment.
I mean, just that gets to be a long meeting. With the tax rate meeting.
Yeah,
well,
So either we schedule a special meeting and select board for one of these things, or try to cram them all to one meeting.
I have a question about when the select board closes the warrant, does there need to be 2 weeks or is that not?
no,
Okay,
no, the
So
2
the
weeks
fifth-
is between the posting date and the meeting. Date.
got it. Okay, so the 5th for closing it.
no,
Cannot close it and.
I
put it on the
apologize, the 29th for closing and signing the warrant, and then the 5th for posting it. And the
That's for the second
19th for the
yeah.
meeting date, yeah.
yeah,
And that's
I'd be
with
okay
with
all
a
of that.
meeting on the 19th rather than the 26th.
Right. I'd be okay with all of that, but maybe we do wanna look at December and not add it to the tax.
Yeah.
meeting.
Yeah, cause in December. Your normal meetings would be. December 10th and. New Year's Eve.
Yeah. Yay!
Summer's not good either.
December's not good.
right, right, and often with months, especially with the holidays in November and December, we'll often just have our meetings on two different Wednesdays or Tuesdays. It's been in the past. That's certainly something else to consider. We could do. We could do the 5th and the 19th in November, in fact, and meet on the 22nd instead of the 29th of October, instead of the last Wednesday, be this fourth Wednesday, or whatever it is, sorry. Yeah,
Yeah, that would be the 4th, not the last, 22nd.
hey, yeah, um,
My only
I
concern.
feel,
with-
yeah.
My
And
only
it
concern. with
make any
having it-
difference. I'm sorry. It might not make any difference because Deerfield seems to have scheduled theirs for November 3rd. And I don't know how married they are to that date. But I don't know if we'll have anything, I don't know if we'll have firm numbers by then on the South County Senior Center. So it may be, just thinking about like my pet baby article for this town meeting. Um, I don't think it should probably be the one that drives the entire bus, but there are many things that could derail that bus. So maybe it doesn't matter, and maybe we should just go for the earlier date.
The other
And
question, as far as earlier, later, are we gonna, are we anticipating getting anything from the planning board and how much time do they need?
The best thing needs more time. But they are proposing an amendment to the existing aquifer bylaw because it's already in there and the modification is minor. And they are holding a hearing on that, in September, so the
Okay.
timing would.
Okay,
be
yeah, I
fine
know
with
that they were talking about something bigger that they might have. for
Yeah.
us. Okay, but that's not gonna
Yeah.
be ready.
That's that they haven't scheduled that hearing for the bigger item yet.
Yeah.
Just for the aquifer, which the aquifer is. That amendment will protect the most concerned item, which is
Yeah.
citing in the
Yep.
the overlay.
Okay,
I also, yeah. I'd be concerned about holding this up for the senior center. There's nothing that says we can't do another special town meeting
Right.
for that other article.
right,
Early, if we needed to.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess in that sense, then, November 12th is probably as good as anything. If and if it comes down to it and we just get newer, better numbers between October 22nd and November 12th, um, there is a process by which we can amend things on the floor.
Yeah.
That's that's
Yeah,
probably,
the amendment isn't that difficult to do, as long as the main requirement is that we just at least have an article for the item.
Hmm.
In the warrant, so we'll just have to make sure that we have it included, but
yeah,
any financing, if it's like. You're suddenly going to change it to a purchase of the property as opposed to a rental, just have to, the amendment just needs to have, change that language.
yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I guess I made my preference clear there. And option one would probably be our best one. Any other ideas from Julie and Fred?
No,
no,
no.
November 12th sounds fine.
Yeah,
I move the board set the fall 2025 special town meeting for November 12th to be held at 5:30 PM at the town offices and to open the warrant for that meeting.
Second,
great, moved and seconded. All those, actually, I'll just roll call it. Julie,
Yes.
Fred,
yes,
Joyce, yes. Okay, very
So,
good.
so with that, that means the October meetings are going to be the 8th and the 22nd. Rather than the 8th and the 29th.
Okay,
So do the 2nd and the 4th
Whoa,
Wednesday.
you mean
right,
hours?
we'll do second and fourth instead of second and last.
Your two meetings for October are gonna be the 8th and the 22nd.
Got it.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. All right, I wrote that on paper, so how am I gonna get that into my calendar now? Dang it. All right, let me get back to that agenda. All right, good. Next, the open space and recreation plan update. That was provided for us in our packet. Honestly, I didn't see anything change in there except the page numbers. Did I miss something?
Yeah, all the headers were updated, so that instead of saying. 7-year action plan, it says 10-year, and then the very first sentence says the 10-year action plan. It's honestly minor, we don't really have to, ours is written in a way that it made it easy to make
Oh, I
those.
see. I see.
And change the start date if we wanted to, but really there's no need to.
Okay. All right. Seems pretty non-controversial.
I've got nothing on it.
No, same here. Okay,
Okay,
I move that the board approve the revisions to the action plan as discussed and allow the FERCog town administrator to finalize and submit the update for approval.
second,
all right, great. Julie? Yay or nay?
yes, yay.
Fred?
Yay.
Joyce? Yippee-yi-yay. All right. Okay, very good. Moving on to new business. We have a contract with Vadar Systems Software for the treasurer collector. Except in one place it says Vadar and one it says Veda. And I'm just afraid that it sounds a little bit like a science fiction villain here, but
Mhm.
that's just what the stuff is called. I didn't see anything funny in the contract.
And just this was already budgeted for in
Yeah.
the budget, so we knew that this was coming. It is our standard annual fee. It's just, the renewal does require.
A
vote.
contract.
Yep.
Okay, well, Julie or Fred, any,
No comments?
No comments?
okay,
I move
all
that the
right.
board, blah, brr, brah.
Good.
I move that the board approve and sign the renewal contract for Vadar Systems.
Second,
All right, let's go around the room then. Julie,
Yes,
Fred,
yes.
Joyce, yes. All right, great. Next, the emergency management plan. We have a continuity of operations plan that we have to look at and discuss. And that was one where I mostly have questions that will reveal my complete ignorance of things. So I should be happy to let other people ask questions first, just to see if theirs cover mine. Um, so maybe I'll invite that first. I mean, the context seems to be that our emergency management director is going through our emergency management plan, and part of that involves, like, the departments have to have a plan for what they would do if, like, their building floods out and they have to somehow move temporarily. And so that's what the plan is about, essentially, right? And so this is all we're really talking about, is what would the plan be for the select board and the town administration. We don't tonight worried about the highway department. They're gonna come up with that plan. Right. And so I mean, I read through the plan. It seemed reasonable. But I had a couple of questions, and now I'm trying to find the copy of that thing. Uh, Not my screen, come on, screen. Uh, there we go. All right. When I went through it, the first part made sense. The parts are in yellow are the ones that are specific. It's sort of a template, and the yellow parts are the specific things to the select board / administration. And that made complete sense that the alternate facility should be the town hall, and that the essential documents are, in the cloud, at least from 2016 forward. And that supervision, it's listed select board chair, vice chair, clerk, and town administrator. Um, all the databases are spelled out. When I got to the preparations, that's where I feel like 8, 7, and 8. I feel like maybe this isn't the document where that happens. Like, there's a list of actions that have to happen, but like some of the information about those things are not there. Like, it says that there's a management team that consists of senior department personnel, and will review the department's co-op plan. and ensure that appropriate plans are in place to relocate the department, which seems to already have happened earlier in the document. So I guess I was just confused about this whole section, because it doesn't seem to add anything other than that there's a recall list. There's a team. The people on the team aren't very specifically specified. Um, the recall list, I mean, it sounds like it's just the phone number list of employees. But it seemed like it doesn't add much to it, and maybe some of the details are missing. I don't know.
So I can clear that up, maybe. This annex document is a template that's used for all the departments, and the direction from our emergency management director was to only change items that were highlighted. So all the highlights are the custom elements just for your department. Everything else is part of the framework that speaks to the main document, which is the emergency management plan.
Okay.
Wait, this is
So,
the.
okay.
Plan, sorry.
Yeah, okay, so then like that management team is
Is more
not,
than just the department, correct? It's
that's,
for the
but,
bigger umbrella.
oh, okay. Okay. All right, that makes more sense. Okay. Um, that was my main question. I sort of felt like that there must be something I don't get here. And I think you cleared that up. Thank you.
Yeah, and it really is just because you're only seeing this appendix or this annex and not seeing the main document.
Yeah. Okay. Well, my questions were answered. Julie and Fred?
It seems fairly straightforward to me, especially as part of a bigger plan.
Yeah, I think so. My only question, and it's kind of a loosey-goosey question, is how would your department function if the town offices were flooded and not able to be used? I'm sort of figuring if the town offices were flooded and not able to be used, that our communications equipment would also be rendered ineffective. Is that not true?
Now. Other at the phone line, that we wouldn't have access to the phone, but. It doesn't affect our access to internet or
Like the
email
phone, yeah.
by doing it at the town hall.
No, I mean, like, if this is flooded
Yeah,
and your computers are damaged in a flood, do you have other equipment over at the old town hall?
if the computers were, thankfully, all of our stuff is in the cloud. We could log into any, even our personal computer.
Okay, thank
We
you.
could log into our
Thank
personal
you.
computer, do our reverse 911.
Okay, that makes sense.
To get into our email, it's all cloud based,
It's
it's
all
not machine
cloud-based.
based.
As much as I hate the cloud, that makes a lot of sense, and that.
And the only
That
thing
answers
would
my
be-
question.
The phone line would be the only thing.
Yep, okay,
Because
thank
that
you.
we don't have access to outside of. the facility.
Terrific. That's my only question.
Yeah. Thinking about that, but the phone line part, isn't our phone voice over internet at this point?
It
It's not
is.
like a Verizon landline. Then that's something that could be relocated fairly easily to a place where there's already internet. So that might be
Possibly.
something to look into as a detail.
Possibly.
Possibly, I mean, it's a big.
Yeah.
What do you call
Right.
that?
Probably-
Shelf Of
I don't know.
servers, yeah, in the warehouse.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
We port all of the phone lines, all the extensions to all of, but yeah, there might be
Yeah.
some way to do it. We just don't have remote access into that system. It's just
Yeah.
that the difference is it's not running over the copper lines, it's running over the internet lines, essentially. Okay.
Yeah, it would take something substantial to reestablish it at another location.
It might. Some
Okay,
temporary equipment that would have to be brought in that we would. Have to just enable so that the phone line or the phone number.
It would just be one of many problems that would have to be addressed.
Yeah.
If such a move were necessary.
Okay.
And because of the reverse 911 system, we could have an outbound message that says, if you're trying to reach the town offices, call this other number, and it could be like my cell phone or something, and that way that acts as a great connection until we have something set up.
Yeah,
Cool.
okay. So do we, it sounds like we might be ready to just put this document back in the very capable hands of Peter Kane.
Yep, I
Yeah.
would say so.
Okay, um, then, do we need a motion?
I think we will need to approve the.
Yeah, the draft,
The
or that's
Yeah.
true, you're gonna have to approve the main.
We're gonna have to approve the whole thing when it's ready. So this is just
You can give your thumbs
our,
up for
our
this.
input to that document.
Yeah,
Yeah.
To forward.
okay, I can, yeah, I'll submit this to Lynn.
Okay, I think that's, yeah, and you don't need our vote for that, but you've got certainly our consensus.
This was our discussion of it. Yeah,
All right, next up is the Franklin County Road Safety Action Plan. Review, discuss, and provide comments and feedback. I did not get through the whole thing. I did get a start on it, but we've got until September 5th to get comments in. I only got partway through it. Maybe somebody else got a little further in.
I did not, I would.
I got through most of it, and fighting through the endless jargon that is in there. It is sort of short on specific solutions and lots of generalities.
Yeah,
about,
that is what I was thinking
here,
as
here are
well.
what some problems are, here are what some solutions might be. Not even solutions, but it's just a very general.
Yeah.
Thing, it's very hard to. It's not proposing anything in particular. But except you should think about these things.
Right. So documents like this, are they basically a document we have to have so that maybe somebody can apply for a grant for something else? Like we have a plan, and then,
Yeah.
oh, here's some money available to implement something in our plan that maybe the FERCog would apply for a grant, and then eventually that comes down to the towns. Is that kind of the?
that's correct. Yeah, you do have to have these plans in place with your TPO, the transportation planning organization for your region.
Okay. Yeah,
But if again, you don't have to vote on anything. Essentially, you can provide me comments that you would like me to provide to FERCog.
Mhm.
If you want to give
Okay.
those tonight, that's fine, or if you want to email them separately, not copy them one another, but email them separately to me, I can compile them and send them to FERCog.
yeah. Well, for me, that's the way it'll have to be because I didn't get all the way through it, so I'll need to go take a look at the rest of it.
Same here.
One. Sort of typo in it. Where they were referring to. Finds the status.
Is it the Christian Lane and State Road?
Yeah,
I already sent them that
okay.
correction. Yeah. Yeah, I caught that initially too. I'm
Yeah.
like, that's not right.
The Montague.
Yeah. But then I noticed later in the document, when it
They got it
referred,
right.
it had it correct, yeah.
Okay. Alrighty, maybe people watching should know that it's been sent to the highway, police and fire departments as well. So that they'll have a chance uh, to put some comments in.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's just a generalized plan, it's not a particular action plan, but,
Yeah, not a very specific document.
right. I mean,
Although
it calls it
that
an action plan, but it's not.
It's a gentle suggestion.
Yes, if you can afford to do this, you should do these things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well then maybe we can move on to the next item. It looks like we have a letter of support to look over regarding the Northern Tier Passenger Rail Project. Which I'm completely in favor of us signing. I think
Right.
there was one thing on there. Uh, I put a comment, it was a Word file. There we go, sample letter of support. I feel that the second paragraph where they say, the corridor travels along the northern edge of Massachusetts, and I am not the grammar police in my family, but I know I would get in a lot of trouble if I was talking about how a corridor travels, because a corridor doesn't travel. People travel through corridors, but corridors don't travel. But could we just change that verb? It's just
How
bothers
about,
me.
how about runs instead of travels?
Yeah.
Corridor runs along the.
The quarter lies along the north, the quarter is along the, it's.
Why
Any,
don't how about runs along the northern edge?
yeah, I think I would say runs is probably, while the quarter isn't technically
Well,
running.
no,
A run
No,
has, again, has
runs,
another meaning.
runs has
A
multiple
river
definitions.
runs. So I didn't have any objection to the rest of the letter, except that I would not, I don't know if I could come up with verbiage for the insert a paragraph about your organization's stake in the project. I just feel like whatever we say there, it should have to do with um, making Western Mass more friendly to businesses that will attract young people to, young people will live in the region if there's a train that goes to Boston and New York, you know?
Yeah,
Um, to me, I feel like that's one of our main things that we would benefit from. Um, so,
Okay,
yeah. So Julie and Fred, do you have any other?
no,
No,
Pete, you gonna write that pretty part?
I
All right,
love the idea of this, I hope
yeah,
can
it's-
get done and that they have the right of way to build whatever tracks, new tracks might be needed.
there being no further questions, I move that the
Yeah.
board submit a letter of support to the FERCog related to the Northern Tier Passenger Rail Project using the sample letter as provided and Pete providing a little bit more verbiage
Second,
where indicated.
All right. Well, great. Sounds like it's moved and seconded. Julie, what say you?
Yes,
Fred,
yes,
Joyce? Yep. All right. Very good. Now, next item is the licensing authority. Do we want to accept chapter 138, section 12D to allow existing malt and wine licenses to be converted to all alcohol licenses? And I think this is a great example of a law that makes sense in the eastern part of the state and just makes no sense here, given the excess number of licenses we have. Um, so I'm completely ambivalent. I think if we accept it, we don't really gain anything. If we reject it, I mean, it's really not gonna affect us. Or if we, I shouldn't say reject, fail to accept. Um, I, I hope we won't spend more than 5 minutes on this.
and just to clarify for those watching, it does, there's nothing, if the board does not accept that section, it does not inhibit the single current license holder of the malted wine to apply for an all alcohol because we have a dearth of licenses available. So it just says that it really is intended for those communities that have run out of all alcohol licenses so that those businesses with a beer or a malted wine can convert to an all alcohol. We just have a lot of available licenses.
yeah,
Yeah,
Legal. Yeah.
well then, nah,
I see no reason to adopt it. Let's stay with
Yeah.
what we've been doing.
So it sounds like take no action is our consensus here.
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay. All right, select board liaison updates time. And why don't we start with somebody besides me?
I can start and say that I've got nothing in particular. I've got meetings of the housing committee and a meeting with the architects doing the study for the highway garage coming up in the next couple of weeks, but past couple of weeks, nothing, nothing new.
Sorry, I'm looking up some old emails that we have. Where
Okay,
information, okay, there have been no other meetings of the water department since our last select board meeting. Have not met with, I should make meetings though, with the town administrator and, I mean, not town administrator, but administrative assistant and clerk and all those.
You are the town office liaison.
Yeah, I should do my town office liaison meetings. Been working with Amy LaValle and Rusty, our community development administrator, to put together some meetings for community outreach regarding having a community garden. We've landed on Thursday, September 11th from 6:30 to 8:30. And Saturday, September 13th from 4 to 6. Have not yet set a location, but it will probably be here and we will be sending out information to the community about that. I also heard from Jennifer Ferrara from the senior center, who is also
Yes.
very interested in participating in this. Yep. And that's it for me.
all right. For me, it's, I'm kind of like all South County Senior Center all the time now. There's, we're basically still trying to get more information. I think we finally got the extension to the EDM Studios contract so that they will now do some kind of assessment of 112 Amherst Road, and I don't believe it is kicked off yet. It's going to start with a run through the building. They're going to do a bunch of work to help us figure out the change of use, whether or not the elevator is going to be an issue, and come up with a plan for that change of use. It may be that they come to the conclusion that this location is ill-suited for a senior center. It could be they come up with a plan that says, yeah, if you do it, if you do this renovation or that renovation, it'll work. So we're sort of looking for that at the end of September. And in the meantime, we're doing things like, gathering information about, well, if this is going to work, what's our budget for a commercial kitchen? What are our furniture needs going to be for some capital equipment? And just trying to keep conversations going with the various boards about what's going on. And I think once we get the information from the architects at EDM, then we will either start, I'll be just like crazy going 24/7 trying to get everybody happy and on board. Or I'll be very sad because if they say it's not a good location, then we're kind of starting, from the beginning again. Um, so we do have a plan for October. There would be public forums so that we would basically be able to tell people everything we learned. We have already in place a subcommittee to do negotiating a lease should, if this building looks like it's going to work for us. They're already in place and ready to go. So once we get this information from EDM, I think things will start happening quickly. But in the meantime, like I'm texting Tom Feigenkevitz and writing to the Deerfield Select Board Chair, Finance Committee Chair, and doing lots of communication in the background. So that's it for me.
So I forgot one small update. We've got interviews next week with 5 candidates. Tomorrow, I'm sorry, not next week, tomorrow, for animal control officer.
Animal
Oh.
inspector.
Right.
What?
Animal inspector.
Animal inspector, I'm sorry. All these animals running around. Sorry, but yes, we have interviews scheduled tomorrow.
Woo-hoo.
I'll wake up.
Bright and early.
I'll wake up.
That's awesome.
All right. Okay, I guess we turn it over to Pete then for town administrator updates.
So first item is the center school feasibility study. That study is continuing and making progress. There is going to be a public survey that's going to be released to residents. The survey, they're developing it right now and should be finalizing it soon. More info will be made available when it's ready to be released. A little more update on the Hampshire County Group Insurance Trust cost increases. Both the Franklin County Solid Waste Management District and Frontier Regional have stated that they will find ways to cover their costs and not pass on their increased healthcare care costs onto the member communities. So
Wow.
we won't see that in either of those two entities. And it does look like we're tracking, the administrators are tracking information for those communities that are in the Hampshire County Group Insurance Trust, and it looks like a majority of us are going to be doing free cash as a way to fund. There are a couple towns that don't have enough that are going to have to go to an override. But most of us thankfully have the money in reserve in free cash.
Yeah.
Hurley Park, the recreation coordinator is going to be working with the community development administrator as well as the CPC to look at some playground options at Hurley Park. This is a very beginning stage, but just wanted, they are starting that information and more will come out soon. The new Whately.org website is under development. We have an internal team of myself, Amy LaValle, the town clerk, Jim Savigny, the police chief, and Rusty Cosgrove, the community development administrator. We're working on developing that new website with the development company. Already selected the template, the color scheme, photos. They're now building out the pages as well as the boards and committees functionality to help us manage those boards. The police department has ordered their copier scanner, thanks to the select board approving that purchase order for that order. They've already taken delivery of 3 new patrol rifles and just waiting on the handgun deliveries. And that was based on town meeting approving the reuse or the reallocation of funds. The board may recall, and maybe the public does, but there has been a lot of discussion about state-owned land and the state providing payment in lieu of taxes for land in communities that the Commonwealth owns. The governor is convening a special commission focused on that SOL pilot reform, looking at ways to better ensure that communities are getting a representation of the lost taxes due to it being state-owned land. That should help to better bolster and improve annual budgets and fix the formula. We are starting to take delivery of parts for the large solar panel installation that's going to happen at the town offices. We've already received now 3 pallets, which includes a lot of hardware and some of the rack systems that will hold the panels. We haven't received the panels yet.
Yeah. Good thing we have a warehouse, huh?
Sorry, what was that?
Good thing we have a warehouse there, don't we?
And good thing we have a highway department with a forklift because the delivery company did not come prepared, and so we had to provide the service to unload. We've since passed a comment that the delivery company needs to come with equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Because the main concern is we don't want our staff to offload panels where then we are taking responsibility,
Yeah.
so.
Right,
Related to this though, the solar panels cannot go in until we get the backup generator installed, so Garrett has that process already moving along. You may have noticed that the dig safe markings have gone in. They've done the boxing in for the concrete pad that will be poured at the back of the building near the HVAC. We do have an invoice or a proposal here for the storage tanks, which this is within budget. We did get 3 quotes. Keith actually got these. We just need the board to sign off on it because it is over $5,000. So I'll need a signature, but it is part of the project that you've already approved. If you do feel that you'd rather take a vote, we can put this on for the next September meeting, but since it was pre-existing.
It's a pre-existing.
Yeah.
Approved
yeah, I
project.
think,
And then the last item is with regard to the zip code unification project. We did receive a letter, I think now 2 weeks ago from USPS. Stating that they have now denied the request to unify the zip codes into a singular zip code. There was some miscommunication from headquarters to whoever was discussing it with, town, and it was a state rep that was with us.
I can't remember exactly who it was.
Somebody from Marky's office must have.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly. I'm sorry.
Where they essentially meant to communicate that there was still one more step, even though they did agree to a start date.
Yes.
So with that denial, there is an appeal process. The town clerk, as of today, submitted the request to appeal that decision. Essentially, the appeal decision, similar to any other appeal decision, the appeals process looks at was a reasonable accommodation made, and the reasonable accommodation that was offered in the denial was that residents can use Whately, Mass, and then their specific zip code. Unfortunately, still doing that does still create problems with a lot of our internal tracking, our invoice or our billing systems. They still
Yeah.
likely get tax bills that are getting improperly allocated to other communities. So with that, although we would have residents now feel like they could at least say they live in Whately because the address would say Whately, that would be the one solution. So it has been submitted. I'm not sure what the review process is time-wise for it, but at least the appeal has been submitted.
If I remember that letter correctly, the reason stated for the denial is that the post offices that service Whately are in different distribution, come from different distribution
Yeah,
centers of the post office. And presumably they can't reroute that. It would be much more complicated. I think it's Williamsburg that is
Yeah.
is in a separate zone than Whately South Deerfield. And that's where the problem is.
yes, yeah.
okay, but that's an internal problem that they can solve. They don't even have to put it on a different truck. That's, yeah, anyway, don't get me started.
I'm just
Doing
saying.
so well on time here,
General information, that was the explanation given.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's a problem.
So at present, the residents are just, again, although the notification was we won't. It doesn't go until, or it doesn't start until January 1st, it's still in process in limbo. And so nothing's final yet. Other than that, yeah, we have the animal inspector interviews tomorrow, and the only other position that's open right now is it's 2 part-time police officer positions. Otherwise, we have filled all of their positions.
Yay.
Hey,
That's it.
hope that same thing is true at our next meeting.
Don't say that.
All right. Wow, I would entertain a motion.
Just clarify, next meeting is September 10th, and we're going back to 6 o'clock at that point?
Yes,
Yes,
September 10th.
wanted to confirm that.
Yes, thank you.
That being the case, I move to adjourn.
Second,
Okay, moved and seconded, in favor, Julie,
Yes,
Fred,
Yes.
Joyce, yes.
all righty.
All right, well, thanks, everybody.